I'm here in Van Nuys, which is the capital of the San Fernando Valley. I'm standing here in front of the Civic Center where you can go to court, submit plans for building and safety, and even get married. There's so much to do in Van Nuys, and it really is the closest thing we have to an actual downtown. Let's go check it out. The town was named for one of its developers, Isaac Newton Van Nuys. After the Los Angeles aqueduct was completed, providing water for further growth, it was annexed by Los Angeles. Van Nuys is in the center of the San Fernando Valley and has its own airport. Some scenes for the movie Pearl Harbor were shot here, as were some in the hit TV show NCIS. What do Robert Redford and Natalie Wood have in common? Well, they all once lived in Van Nuys, and in fact, Redford attended Van Nuys High School and was a classmate of baseball pitcher Don Drysdale. The Stephen King films Christine and Sleepwalker had scenes filmed at Van Nuys High as well. It also borders Woodley Park and the Japanese Garden, the Sepulveda Dam Bike Path, the Sepulveda Basin Wildlife Refuge, and Anthony Bellinson Park. It also has its own golf course. It has a high population density with over 100,000 residents and is considered a moderately diverse neighborhood. Besides Valley Presbyterian Hospital for Healthcare, Van Nuys has easy access to Kaiser Permanente in Panorama City. For dining, there's an extensive range of ethnic restaurants from Middle Eastern to Vietnamese and Korean. Favorite hangouts are Dr. Hoggly Woggly's Barbecue, the original Kundang Thai restaurant, and Lido's Pizza. Mercado Buenos Aires for Argentinian food is a place I am in love with as well. If you want to get plastered, look no further than Mcleod's Brewery, which is hands down the best brewery in the entire valley. Van Nuys has 2 Targets and 2 Asian markets, and there's as many discount stores along Van Nuys Boulevard. I keep saying it, but Van Nuys Boulevard can be one of the most exciting places. It's the closest thing we do have to a downtown, and of course, who can forget the massive Galpin dealership that apparently is one of the biggest in the entire nation. The Van Nuys Metro Station offers convenient access to public transportation and a way to hop on Amtrak or the Metro Link. In terms of living in Van Nuys, its history as one of the oldest cities in the valley makes it a very important commercial hub. With one of the highest number of businesses and government buildings, it's sometimes referred to as the center of the valley. That hasn't fared too well for its prices, however. Being east of the 405 doesn't help, and unlike its cousin Lake Balboa, which is still technically part of Van Nuys, it's not going to be as expensive. The traffic is rough, and the houses are still good for entry-level buyers. On top of that, there seem to be the most multifamily housing units. Endless apartments and condos abound. General Motors operated an automobile factory for over 40 years called the Van Nuys Assembly. It once manufactured 6.3 million vehicles a year, including the Chevrolet Impala and the Corvair. Compromised air quality and decreasing market shares resulted in the factory's closure. However, a community called Van Nuys Cruise Night sponsors monthly cruises and events for automobile aficionados, a tradition that started in the late 60s. The Plant Shopping Center in Panorama City opened on the former factory site in 1999 and is anchored by an Office Max, Home Depot, and the movie theaters. The interior of the main studio has allegedly never been painted over, nor its linoleum tiles changed, due to fear that any such change would directly affect the legendary sound quality of the room. In 1976, Fleetwood Mac recorded one track at the studio, Never Going Back Again, from what would become one of the highest selling and most critically acclaimed albums of all time, Rumors. Dozens of rock artists spanning 5 decades have recorded at Sound City, including Johnny Cash, Neil Young, Elton John, and Red Hot Chili Peppers, just to name a few. Over 100 albums recorded at Sound City have achieved gold and platinum certifications. In addition, the airline company Grupo Taka operates a TACA center here, as does Funrise, a worldwide toy manufacturing company and the creators of the Bright Fairy Friends, Gazillion Bubbles, Rainbow Butterfly Unicorn Kitty, and of course Fart Ninjas. In the end, Van Nuys was known, along with Chatsworth, as being one of the main places to shoot adult film videos. That's on the decline, and there's a lot of other things going on in Van Nuys. It's one of the busiest places in the whole valley. I doubt there's more than 5 open parking spots at a single time. But hey, now, if you're looking for a good starter home, check out Van Nuys. Give me a call.